Ever wish you could go back in time and buy shares in Apple or Rio Tinto before they were huge? I used to work for a film company and my boss and I saw this film in 1992 looking at distributing it, but he decided it was a no, and I'd love to go back and argue to change his mind, because while this film showed some promise, the director's next film after this was a global smash hit. FRAUDS was the debut feature film from promising young director Stephen Elliott that came out in 1992. If that name sounds familiar, Elliott would go on to direct The Adventures of Priscilla, Queen of the Desert in 96 and change popular culture. FRAUDS was ambitious in other ways. It just wasn't quite there yet. It starred the British drummer and singer Phil Collins, who was trying to also have a film career at the time. It's set in middle America somewhere. Collins is a millionaire, conniving insurance adjuster who knows a secret about a married couple, Josephine Byrne and Hugo Weaving, who have unalived someone, and he puts them through a series of elaborate psychological pranks with intricate sets that remind me of the weird circusy setting from the end of the Margot Robbie Birds of Prey film. It's very Tim Burton-y. It's spectacular work from production designer Brian Thompson, but I think it does show up the limitations of the film's Australian budget, whereas if this was a kind of mid-budget American film with American funding, I think perhaps the scale of these sets would probably let the film down. I think actually also that Elliott's ambition is greater than what the production affords him. The film had a cinema release in 92, but only a modest box office return. But anyone who invested in Elliott here, like his producer Rebel Penfold Russell, kind of got in on the ground, and then they got their payout when Priscilla became the unstoppable thing that it is. I'm not too sure it holds up that well, but that promise of things to come is definitely there. It's very inventive. And just jumping back to that term millionaire, remember when that sounded exotic and not just that you owned your own house?